So, first order of business, I want to introduce the trustees. To my left, Dave Short. To my right, Darius Thompson, Vice Chair, and I am Dwayne Staples, Chair. Good evening.
Hey, good evening.
And our Select Board rep. There is an agenda on the table, if you would like it, Levy?
I have a copy.
Okay. Public comment, nobody here for public comment. Approval of the minutes of July 21st. Does anybody note any errors or omissions?
No.
Nope.
I'll entertain a motion to accept the minutes.
Motion to accept the minutes.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor? Aye. So the minutes have been approved. Because we didn't meet last month, some of this agenda, the update of the road closure, that the road is open one way for the time being. I know there's been a lot of people using it. There's still people that manage to walk down there. I have been through there, so I think it's working okay. Haven't heard anything to the contrary. So I hope people are enjoying it. Tree work. We'd asked Darius to put together a paperwork for the proposal. So I've gone through it. I have some suggestions on this. Dave, do you have your copy?
Yeah, I got some thoughts on streamlining.
Okay.
I did try to make the font big enough so we all could read it.
Yeah.
Oh, thank you.
Somehow I got it to shrink down.
Yeah, there was a PDF version that was smaller font size, but the bigger font size. Easy to read. Do you need a copy?
No, I'll just listen in.
Okay.
First thing is the spelling of Swasey. It's spelled with an S.
That's correct.
And in the document, some of it's correct and some of it isn't.
Yes.
So we just need to fix that.
That'll be corrected.
Number one, the number of trees that we've identified actually is 39 between the removal and pruning.
Yep.
And we used a white, or it's actually yellow paint. That dot, the yellow dots are still there, but they're dark. It's not a bright yellow.
Right.
Okay.
I have walked through there several times and it's still there.
You want to go through in order, or?
Yeah.
Sure.
The ensure full and open competition, I think is that paragraph works.
Ooh, where are you?
That would be where it goes to 2 right here in the shore.
Yeah, and we're
Okay.
going back up too. We're not just looking for the fall pruning and removal. We had talked about fall or winter. And winter possibly being preferable because there's less usage in there. But we would coordinate with whoever got the contract.
Okay, so you're going, so just make sure I'm looking at the first page, which is just the background, then it goes to section 2, statement of work. You're looking after that?
Nope, I'm still in that first paragraph.
Okay. Got your fall pruning, okay. Yep.
Then the transport materials to town of New Hampshire transfer station, I think we can eliminate that.
Yeah, I agree with that because they'll probably chip that, so they're gonna take that either
But we don't have to put that in here, because we can just talk about it with them at the time. I don't think it has to go in the document. Designating the destination of the brush coming off this thing. I also think that contractor must be licensed, yes, which in this case would be certification for arborists, and have proper insurance, no exceptions. That works.
I think they have to supply a certificate of insurance when they
Yes.
put their bid in anyways.
Yes. Contractor must have prior experience in documentation of such work. I think we can strike that. Proposals received no later than 2 p.m., blah, 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 at the town offices. That all works.
I would like to, though, have, and I think it's in here maybe a little bit farther down, I would like to have references, just like we do for the landscape maintenance,
Well, that's for the, yeah.
so we can check them.
But we're also doing this by invitation, and we have some familiarity with the companies that are coming in already.
Okay,
It seems a little bit redundant, but
well, that was going to be another question of mine. Do we want to advertise it in the paper, or do we want to do it by invitation by the people that we've had bid in the past?
I think we do it by invitation.
So, and looking forward, thinking of our future selves, looking for this to potentially be a template if we ever have to go out and do this again.
But there's no need for them to bond this thing.
Okay. So it must be licensed and have proper insurance.
Yep.
And then must have prior experience of documentation of such work. So again, we're inviting people that have done this before, but if in the future, if a contractor wants to come in and, submit a proposal, but they haven't done any work for us or in this area, would this preclude them from, this would not preclude them from, in other words, they have to have experience doing the work, then it's not.
We wouldn't be asking them to look at this job unless
Okay.
they had experience.
Okay, got it. That's fine.
And so, yeah, all proposals shall be received no later than 2 p.m. and so forth.
The September date would be something that's,
So I think we can strike the paragraph below that then, that late proposals, or below late proposals shall not be accepted. The Swasey Park trustees assume no responsibility for late proposals, and no postmarks, faxes, or emails will be accepted. And I'd strike that.
And Darius, we don't allow that either when we do the lawn maintenance, because we did have a late proposal last year when we set our date and all, and we didn't accept that.
okay, I was just being clear, but.
Well, it says very clearly, receive no later than 2 p.m. on such a day of September.
It is extra wording, but it's being very specific, but that's fine. I'm not beholden to it.
So we strike that. Contractor will trim and haul brush from trees and public areas and all that, yes. I don't think we dictate to them how many trucks and how many people they use to do this work.
Hold on. They're not really going to be hauling brush. So,
Well, but it's another way of saying they're going to dispose of it,
all right, that's fine.
That's
fine.
But I don't think we dictate to them how they do it. Again, they're competent, operate a minimum of 5 days a week, and that's, again, we talk to them about scheduling afterwards. We don't tell them how many hours a day to work, Monday through Saturday, maybe they work Monday through Friday. I strike all that.
As far as the hours,
No, that's not I don't think you don't go out and hire quality contractors and micromanage them.
okay.
Swasey Park trustees will coordinate all volunteers. and
Okay, but
support.
let me just say that in the maintenance contract, just so that in the lawn maintenance contract, we do designate the days that we want mowed. I understand what you're saying with this, Dave, but I mean, I just want everybody to understand that for the mowing maintenance contract, we do designate the days, the days that we want it mowed.
Right.
And if they want to change that, because you're the contact for that, they contact you.
Yeah, well, I mean, within reason. They don't tell me the hour they're going to show
No,
up, and that
no.
sort of thing.
But within the days of the week or whatever that is, it does need to be coordinated with whatever events are occurring.
Correct.
Right. So,
And we can talk with them all about that. Again, I wouldn't make this document too cumbersome. I don't want to discourage people.
But I would be okay to have something like that in, that they understand that they need to, that needs to be, we need to coordinate with events that may be.
The chosen contractor will coordinate the work with the trustees. So again, I'd strike the telling them how many trucks or staff to use, hauling the debris, strike 5 days a week, Monday through Saturday. We don't need to put anything in here about us coordinating volunteers and support personnel.
do we have to, with the ability to reach the branches at different levels and that part, or you're assuming that would be part of the?
We're going to show them, we're going to walk the site, we're going to show them the scope of the work, and it's going to be up to them to get to the branches.
Okay. And we're not going to be coordinating volunteers and support personnel?
I don't think we want volunteers anywhere near that.
Okay, but we will coordinate?
Coordinate what?
The scheduling?
Sure.
Okay.
Yep. I think the group here on the insurance policies and all that, that's standard, that's good.
Darius, I would just like to, we probably should run this, make sure
Yes.
that these, right.
Oh, this is like,
Is what the town sets.
right, so this is a complete
Yeah.
working draft. I'm not tied to anything.
No,
I just don't.
This
yeah.
is good, I just don't know what the town requires, that's all.
Okay.
But yeah, the categories are what are standard.
Correct.
The amounts, whatever Russ can tell us what that is.
Yep.
No performance bond, no statutory bond, no retainage held. It's not a big enough job to be holding retainage on.
General liability insurance?
No, that's
Okay.
fine.
Okay.
Yeah,
We just don't know what the limits are.
right.
Right.
Okay. Statutory bond now.
Yeah.
And then, are we invoicing weekly or?
I think that can be discussed. But I don't like the idea of withholding retainage.
I'm okay with taking the retainage out, but I want the invoicing put in there,
Right.
only because what we've run into with the maintenance guy.
Okay.
I don't want him to come back and 3 months later get a bill for work that they've done.
No.
So they can invoice weekly or bi-weekly, however you feel that you want that. And we're not sure exactly how long this job is going to take, and we're not even sure if we should do all 39.
Well, once we start
Trees,
getting
so-
prices,
Right.
we're going to be able to make that determination.
Correct.
I mean, the guts of this thing are fine. There's some superfluous stuff that can go, I think. Trustees will be responsible for providing information on location of trees, pruning and removal, yes. And a method for documenting presence and removal of hanging limbs, that's harmless.
Yeah, I wouldn't mind having pictures.
But B, C, D, and E, I think we strike all that.
So collecting data or other media to reconcile with invoices to, in other words, we're not, basically suggesting that we take pictures or document that the work has been done.
We take a walk through and take a look at it, yeah.
Well, pictures.
We're not going to, well, fine, we'll take pictures, but
Okay.
they're not going to get paid if it's not done. Let's see. I believe number 5, I also,
So go back to D,
yep,
that we're making the assumption that they're going to, do all safety procedures, ingress, all the other things that they would normally do to operate safely? Okay.
yes.
So this is, you think this is not necessary, or do you think it is?
No, not at all.
Okay.
Number 5, I think I'd strike all that.
So that's proposal requirements.
And then,
Well, we're going to ask for names and references anyways.
Right.
yeah, right. And, we can't do a unit cost per branch to trim or cut or,
No.
Yeah.
that's impossible. Responses must be submitted to Swasey Park trustees. That's already been stated prior. Responses should be in a sealed envelope, but that's pretty much inferred from everything else. And then I think from, let's see, this would be number 6, I guess. C, D, and E, those all make sense to have in here. That the trustees will use the information, the proposal as a basis for final negotiations, yes. Acceptable contract cannot be consummated, negotiations will be terminated, that's fine. Trustees reserve the right to review the proposal submitted, all that makes sense. And direct questions regarding this to Dwayne Staples. And then all this other stuff, the business relationship affidavit, non-collusion affidavit, I don't believe that's necessary either.
That's just basically stating that, they'll have any relationship with any of us, yada, 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 all that good stuff.
Yep, but
That's just,
again, I kind of boiled it down into about a page and a half. And it hit what I consider to be the pertinent stuff, important stuff. Basically just tried to streamline it as, like I said, the guts of it are good, they make sense. I just think it needed to go on a little bit of a diet.
Sure.
So,
This is the short version, small print.
Perfect, thank you.
No, the typos and everything, none of the, I didn't mark any of the changes, but.
and they're going to be submitting a proposal anyways, which will probably cover additional things and cover a lot of what we're stating here anyways.
Okay. Well, I appreciate the recommendations and the
No, thank you.
streamlining.
Thank you for,
This is just getting it together. And I apologize for not doing the spell checking to spell Swasey correctly, I know.
that's okay.
So,
I did that really quickly, so
that's fine.
pardon me if I missed something or I took out something I shouldn't have, but I just wanted to see what I could get it down to.
Yeah. Just fine. Yeah, it could be boiled down to much smaller. Yes, absolutely.
Whatever you want.
So this is the proposal.
Got the edited.
That's his edited version, yes. Yep. Okay. So, what are your thoughts, sir?
I agree. I was trying to, I have the same concerns about how long it was.
Oh, yeah.
And some of the stuff, but I think that we boiled it down, so let's go back and
clean up what I did.
Clean it up.
If there's stuff that I missed or
get it,
took out too much, but like I said, I just went through really quick and erased and backspaced and just tried to tighten it up and clean it up.
Certainly.
and he also spelled Swasey wrong.
Right, which is okay. It happens. I don't feel
Oh,
so.
I didn't retype it. I'd still be home.
Spelling and typo errors were put there for those for you to notice, so it's okay.
So let's clean it up, and we can, do you want to have, we can vote on the cleaned up version at our next meeting?
Yes. And
So we'll be sending this out in October then?
Correct.
right.
Okay. But then let's make a point of getting this out in October, right after our meeting.
So the bids would have to be due in October then?
I think, well, we got to do a site walk first, so we need to
So we're looking for November then?
send it out and
So,
the time to do a site walk.
so our meeting in October would be October 20th, unless you want to try and fit something in earlier than that.
No, I think that's fine.
Okay.
I mean, honestly, I really think we're going to want this to take place in the wintertime anyways. That's the quietest time of year down there.
I would agree if we're going to do the entire scope of work.
Yes.
Except for the first Saturday in December. So I've been told there's an event that occurs.
Yep.
That I might have had something to do with at
Well,
one point,
we'll-
but no.
We'll work around.
I would probably think that they're not going to even start in December.
Yeah.
So, but anyways, so we'll discuss this on October 20th.
Okay.
Do you want to set a site walk date now, or do you want to wait till the 20th?
I think we should wait till the 20th.
Because the other thing that I'd like to talk about tonight is we did the lawn maintenance bids last fall. So we
Right.
did a site walk with them in October. They were due sometime around the 4th or 5th of November, so that we could review that, and we picked that contractor November 30th and told that contractor who had got the bid, so that they were all set for the spring. Do we still want to do that timeline? I think that timeline worked
Sure.
pretty well.
Yep.
So, Mr. Chair, I'd like to make a point of order.
Yep.
And we've had some discussion and recommendations relative to the working draft.
Yep.
With some very good edits. I'd like to propose a motion to accept those edits, put that together, and send back a working draft prior to our next meeting, so that we can look at and review a final draft of that, so that it can be on the schedule for what we're talking about for October.
October 20th.
October 20th, and then, with your dateline proposed for bids proposed sometime in November, we can fill it in later, but to review and tighten everything up so we can have something going forward.
All right, and you put that in the form of a motion?
Yes.
Do I have a second?
Sure. Second.
Any discussion?
Nope.
All those in favor? Aye. All right,
Okay.
thank you.
Yeah, then we can hopefully mail that out right after the meeting, contact the prospective bidders, set up a site walk time, and get that done.
Let's try and put together a list of the bidders that we want to contact for the next meeting.
Yeah.
I'll work on that from the list that we contacted for the trees that we had done this last spring. And if
Well, I think we were thinking, Piscataqua, Curtis,
C&J, I'd have to look back at my notes to
yeah,
see.
yeah,
So there were 3, maybe 4,
yeah,
possibly 5.
right,
So,
yep.
all right, fair enough. Any other questions on the tree work? Thank you, Darius.
No. Oh, so the question, do we need to go back and, or have the markings for the trees been deteriorated since the time we did it?
I've walked through there, they are still marked, like I said, the yellow is dark, it's not a bright yellow, so
when we do
I
it-
can go back through there and
Well,
just
when they
hit
do-
them again, but the whites are still there.
When they do the site walk, we're going to be with them anyways,
Right, so we get a chance to just remark them or?
if we even need to.
Yep.
Okay.
You know, but we certainly can point the trees out to them.
The irrigation update, that was, excuse me, that was just to let you guys know that the irrigation system is fixed. They were trying to fill the dunk tank that they had down there on that National Night Out. The irrigation system was broken, so there was a zone that was running. Excuse me. So that's fixed, it's up and running. We'll just need to have it blown out this fall, but it is working at this point.
A point of inquiry, do we happen to know what the precipitation rate is on our sprinkler system?
I do not at this point,
We should probably,
but we can certainly figure that out. My first concern was to make sure that if we wanted to use it, it worked. So,
okay,
It's not presently running, though.
right.
no, it's off.
Okay, good.
No. But they couldn't use the spigot in the well thing there because that zone was running. It was broken.
Right.
Wouldn't shut off. So that's all fixed. And the irrigation, when we got the zone fixed, we went through. We did run it. We checked the. We did check the heads, made sure that everything was just working properly. It was. So and then we shut it back down. So it has not been on, other than to fix it.
Yep.
But it will need to be blown out because we did have to energize it.
Yep.
The upcoming events through the fall, because this, again, is a carryover agenda, there was, we've gone through the fall equinox, which was on that, and the concerts were still going on Thursdays for the rec department. So at this point, I think we just have the Beer and Chili Fest.
Or beer festival.
Yeah, in October. No?
Chili.
No chili?
No chili.
No chili.
No chili, just beer.
Just the-
Well, food trucks, I
Yeah.
guess, is what it
Food
is.
truck.
Yeah. And I've talked with the rec director, Greg, about that. It's still going to be cordoned off the same way it has been. I think they are trying to use more compostable components. I think they've contacted Mr. Fox to be down there with some dumpsters and trash items. So I'm pretty sure Greg had told me that they were going to try and do that this year. And I think that's the last big event that they have down there, according to the calendars that I get, which I've tried to forward them all to you guys.
Received them. Thank you.
So I would like to try and see if we could get those couple of spots across from the pavilion overseeded that they were really dead coming out of the spring. They've been all crabgrass all summer. What's your thoughts on that?
It's getting late.
Yeah, but it's a good time.
But we got time still. Yeah.
Ground temp is going to be warm,
I mean, do you
so
have anybody in mind for that?
not at the moment, no. I would try and reach out to a couple of contractors and see if we could get somebody to make some time to do that.
Yeah.
It's just, it would be a slice seed,
If
so.
you have to use a slice seeder, it'd be a nice
Yeah.
quick job.
Yep.
Yep.
So I have a question regarding two things.
Yep.
And maybe this would be, or select maybe chair maybe will answer this question. What is the status of the roof repair for the pavilion that is what's the status?
I can answer that.
Okay.
The contractor that's doing the roof repair is also doing the train station roof. So my understanding is that there's been a little bit of a glitch in that because he wants to do it he wants to do both of them at the same time, and he thinks he can, but the train station is requiring that there be a flagger there while he's doing it. And I guess that, from my understanding, is the hang-up of why they have not started that project yet.
Well,
Those
also,
projects.
and
So
also,
I just, so when you mention train, by the nature of who I work for, I cannot make any comment or any vote, nothing to do anything at all with that whatsoever. I can't.
Okay.
So, all right. I was only inquiring about the pavilion, so thank you.
Oh,
I'm just, because of who I work for, which I work for
Got
Amtrak,
it.
full disclosure, that train station is not necessarily, it's not Amtrak property, but it's used by the Pan Am, but Downeaster runs on that, so that's why I need to say that statement, so.
Got it.
I did not know that, thank you.
Dave?
well, and the other reason was to wait till the majority of the events are done at the park anyways. So now that team's done, and the only thing we have left coming up is the beer festival, he could pretty much go in there anytime, as long as if he tried to squeeze it in beforehand, he gave himself enough time to be done by the time it took place.
Yeah, my understanding is it's probably going to happen after the
Yeah.
festival. So,
So,
Okay, I have one other question.
go ahead.
So I know that one of our meetings we had earlier this year when I became a trustee was the discussion of having yoga in the park. And I believe the yoga was supposed to occur in the street and not the park itself, but it was in the street. So now that the road is open, we're not quite out of the pandemic with the emergency orders over, is yoga in the park still occurring on a daily basis? Are they using the park, are they using the street, or are they gone somewhere else? Do we know?
I have not seen them there once this year, and I'm by there 2 or 3 times a day. Maybe they're using it, maybe they're not. I mean, they must be using it because, but I have a feeling they're done.
I don't have an answer. I don't have a concrete answer for you for that, but I was pretty sure that they could use the street until it got open. Is that correct?
They were given a date, I can't remember offhand what the end date was.
Yeah.
And I think it might have corresponded with,
I think it was the end of the summer.
right, so either
Right.
the end of summer or when we no longer had the ability to offer them
Right.
free access to the roadway. So
Okay.
one or the two, but we haven't heard from anybody from either yoga studio who was utilizing it, so.
Yeah.
Right, and I'm not even sure if it, how much it was utilized. I think it may have been utilized some, but I'm with Dave. I didn't ever see anybody down there, or I haven't heard that they were down there.
Okay. Just curious.
Yep,
Okay.
yep.
All right.
So the slice seed, so, as far as the lawn maintenance goes, do we want to put that out? I know Mr. Damsel put some notices out. We had put it out in the paper. Do we want to put it out again to have the same timeline that we did last year?
Yeah.
I concur. I'd like to make a motion to carry forth your recommendation or suggestion of putting out for the lawn, with the overseeding, correct?
No, this
Or for the
No,
maintenance?
this would be the lawn maintenance.
Okay, all right. So,
The lawn maintenance for 2022.
right.
Then I make a motion to put out the information and, solicit for bids for lawn maintenance for 2022 and following the same schedule as prior years. So advised as any adjustments necessary.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Okay, so, I'll get a hold of Pam, and I'll get a hold of Mr. Damsel so we can put that in the places that he put it last year. Do we want to have a site walk with them? Do we want to offer a site walk for the maintenance bids?
Let's see who responds.
I think it would be, given some of the issues that came up over this year relative to certain, I guess, expectations of performance of areas that they're supposed to take care of that may have not gotten taken care of the proper way, or at least to the expectations, that might be beneficial to clearly show them. But again, that's just my opinion.
I don't have a problem with scheduling a site walk. I know we scheduled it last year and nobody showed up, so.
Right. Go ahead and schedule it. It doesn't matter. It takes half an hour.
We scheduled it on a Friday, so
That's probably why nobody showed up.
Maybe schedule on Thursday?
do you want to try and schedule it for the last week of October,
Sure.
which is what we did last year?
Yep.
You want to schedule it for October 25th? That's a Monday?
Yeah, that's,
There is?
Mondays, yeah, that's tough for me, but Tuesday would be better.
All right, October 26th. And I think we scheduled it for like 3 o'clock, if I recall.
That
yeah.
works.
And then we had the bids in, like I said, it was somewhere around the 2nd or 3rd. I'm going to be unavailable from the 3rd to the 10th of November. So do we want to go like the middle of November?
Sure.
That works for me.
November 19th, that's a Friday. They can be into Pam's office, and we open them.
Right.
And they're due by 4 p.m. That day is what we had on there.
Okay. Would that be the same date that you would want the tree bids due?
Let's wait and see, because we still,
Yeah.
All right.
And then we awarded that, or I think, if I recall, we contacted everybody by November 30th to let them know whether they received the bid and who received it. I made those phone calls, so you want to still keep that timeline?
yeah.
Yes.
Yep.
And that just makes it easier for us and the contractor come springtime. All right. The only other thing that I have to report is they've been working on the lights, street lights, electrical panel, electrical eyes for the street lights down at the Parkway. I did talk with the electrician this last week. I happened to be going through his, working on them. And I think they are finally all fixed. Some of the light posts, they had blocked the receptacles off. Some of the light posts have receptacles back on them. But that was a major project to make those lights work correctly.
Right.
But they are all working correctly now, is what I've been told. So I just want to thank Jeff Beck for hanging in there with my several phone calls to find out what was going on, and thank the electrician for working, because there was a lot of challenges that happened over the course of working on those lights. So,
Safe environment's a good environment.
yes. And I think the other thing that's upcoming is going to be that sewer siphon project, which,
Actually, I had a question about that. From the way the flags appear to be laid out there for marking that sewer line, it looks like it's going to skirt that tree around back to the sewer line.
I'm not sure, Dave, because I've talked with,
Because it's flagged now.
well, it was flagged. I don't know if the sewer line was actually flagged. They were doing some test bores, some more test borings. They had called me, and I'm pretty sure I sent something out to you guys. Matt Ruby told me that he's not in charge of that project, but they're about 60% through with it, with the development, as I guess is how I would put it. But I have not been contacted by anybody other than to tell me that they were going to do test bores in there. So I have no idea where it's going.
Because it appears to me that they can, the way they have it marked at least, they're going to go through some shrubs to the side of that tree that are going to get wiped out, but they're going to skirt well outside the canopy of that tree around to a manhole behind the tree. 'Cause that's a nice tree, and it'd be a shame if they came through and had to take that thing out of there for no good reason other than they want to run a straight line.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I've asked.
How do we find out?
That's a good question. I've asked to be included in some of the talks on that and all, and I know that they come to the conservation or the tree committee or something, but
Conservation Commission.
yeah, I haven't been told, so.
But it was still fairly general at that point. But now it's actually flagged, but there's different coding to the different flags,
Right.
and I'm not exactly, I think I deciphered what they've done. And it looks good to me, but I'm not positive I have.
Yeah, I mean, and I had expressed some concerns early on when they started boring, and I saw some flags and markings about some of the memorial benches that may or may not need to be moved. There was a memorial tree that went with a bench. So
It looks like they're avoiding most, like I said, there's a couple groupings of shrubs that appear to be in that right-of-way. But that looks like about the only impact that I saw. Maybe there was a bench, but that obviously can be moved easily.
right, well, it can be moved whether.
Whether it holds together.
Well,
Yeah.
I'd like to be involved with some of those meetings when they get out there to look, because I know that the trustees, when they did the other pipeline, were very involved with that, so.
Do you want me to push somebody? I'd be happy to.
You can if you'd like, I guess. That's what I'll say to that.
Well,
All right.
get me a name and a starting point, and I'll be happy to. Because that's just common courtesy.
Okay, so that's all the updates that I have. Dave, do you have anything else?
I'm done.
Darius?
I'm enjoying being a grandfather.
All right. Good for you. Congratulations.
Congratulations.
Been a year plus, so it's all wonderful.
So the next meeting is October 20th, and I will put that in and get the agenda out. I did, and the only reason I had this thought, I sent that out again, but I want the agenda again. I just wanted to change the date because I just had Pam roll that over.
That's fine.
So I didn't want anybody to.
Oh, that was harmless.
To think, so,
Yeah.
well, again, all right.
Cool.
Motion to adjourn?
Excuse me?
Point of inquiry?
Sorry, there was a motion to adjourn already.
It hasn't been seconded, though.
Quick, come on.
Go ahead.
Thank you. Mark Damsel, 10 Newfields Road. I missed public comment.
Yep, you did.
I was,
Shame
Still
on you.
Early.
I have come up with some type of an idea. In the past, I've had, well, excuse me, I'll back up. There's been some volunteers with the Parkway. With the Parkway being shut down for as long as it has, I've walked through the Parkway several times myself, along with many other people in and out of town using the Parkway. It seems to me that there is quite a bit of trash, sticks, debris, so on and so forth. I've got a small bag of some of the stuff that I've picked up on a few of my walks. I just want to think of something, some way of, I don't want to say form a committee, but if there was a way we could make, I don't know if I want to say a pack or a group of people or volunteers or something, which we could dub Pick the Park or Walk the Park and Pick the Park. And I don't know how we could go about it. It's just a thought. I know there's certain people that walk the park every day. Some of them early in the morning, some of them later, some in the afternoon, some at night. So it's just a thought that the masks are really prevalent down there from people discarding the mask, face mask. I got straws, metal, candy bars, balloons in this bag here, asphalt, stickers. So it's just a thought and an idea maybe. I don't know if anyone at home's listened to this that would be interested in, as they walk the park, pick the park. Just a thought and an idea.
That's a good idea. Get some of the regulars.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. I see the same people walk pretty much every day.
Why don't you run it by a few of the regulars that you see, and then see if they're in,
Okay,
see if they want to round up a few other people to do the same thing.
yeah, because I know there's a fellow that lives over at the, excuse me.
The Mills?
Over by the Mills, over by the library.
Yeah.
And I haven't seen him around for a while, but he used to go down on the weekends and have a little picker and a bag, and he'd pick up a bunch of stuff. So, I mean, I just think with the use of the park and the people in town that enjoy the park and like to use the park, especially the sticks and the debris, for the safety of the lawnmower and the pedestrians.
I think the people that walk daily would be thrilled.
Yeah.
You know, as a way of contributing, and they're going to be down there anyhow.
Yeah.
We also had a group from the high school this last March. They needed to do some credits for their civic duty.
Yeah.
That went down for a morning and picked up trash and cleaned things up.
That's great. It'd be great if we could
So-
get, like, again, similar to the school kids or Cub Scouts or Girl Scouts or Academy kids, high school kids, periodically to go through because of the use of the parkway. Not only is it unsightly, the trash and the debris, the sticks are really becoming a problem with the lawnmower. So lawnmowers aren't really made to mow over sticks, they're made to mow over grass. So I just wanted to throw it out there. Anyone's at home listening, if you guys have any other ideas in the future, I have a couple contacts with some Boy Scout clubs. Maybe I could reach out to them again and see, maybe a couple times a year if there's a group or a pack that needs some extra. I know they're always looking for extra things to do, so I'll try and reach out to that too. And if I hear of something, I'll let you know.
All right.
Could I
Appreciate
just jump in really quick?
Yep.
I think if you just, I don't know who would be required to do this, but if you formalize something, give it a title, like you said, Pick the Park, and then it could just become a certificate that then is given out, because I know that high school students, middle school students are constantly looking for community service. Heck, I wouldn't be surprised if the police department is looking for some kids to utilize the park in ways that they shouldn't for community service.
Yeah, correct.
That might be a good and easy method for
Yeah.
getting continuous people to come out there and
Great.
assist. So I think if you just come up with a name for it and, you know, it's backed by the trustees perhaps, then
Sure,
it'll just consider it done, I guess. you know.
sure, because I know that, you know, excuse me, over the years, there's been some talk about why don't we have barrels down there, or trash barrels, and then there's, you know, it's always, well, who's gonna
Gonna pick
take
it up.
care of them? Correct, who's gonna pick them up? Or they're gonna end up in the river at some point, so, yeah, no, I like that.
Thank you. I was just thinking, you know, walk the park, pick the park, or if, you know, in the future we can come up with a better slogan, and I like your idea, like, I don't know how to put this, but if there's someone that's been in trouble, a
Yeah.
juvenile or something, they need some community service, or I still have a contact at the school, and I think from the academy too, and I'll reach out to some Boy Scouts. I think if we could get it done more periodically, then we're not playing this game of catch-up, because I'm, believe it or not, in the park a lot myself, picking up sticks and twigs and trash. It's not really a fun thing to do, but it's such a beautiful spot that gets used so much that I think if we could get like-minded people, it would make it more attractive than it already is, because it's very unsightly when you go down and you see masks and balloons and straws and plastic styrofoam cups and spoons and all that other stuff. So thank you, and thanks for your service.
So.
Thank you.
Just my comment is that we have one planet. We need to take care of it,
Yes.
or pick up your trash.
I encourage younger people to do it because I think some of us are very geared towards that. Like I constantly do that when I'm walking around the area, but if we could figure out a way to get young people sort of instinctively wanting to do that as well, would be great. So I like the idea of the Boy Scouts, Girl Scouts, and school age kids, but thank you for that.
Yep, thank you, Mark.
Motion to adjourn. Sorry, Chair.
Second.
Any discussion? All those in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Adjourn at 6:52. Thank you all.
Thank you for tuning in to Exeter TV. Exeter TV is the town's public and government access channels, available on Comcast channels 98 and 22. Channel 98 is your channel. If you have an idea for a program, want to host your own talk show, or submit a film, we're here to get your content on television. On Channel 22, we bring you live and replay coverage of government meetings and other town updates. A third channel, Blue Hawk Media, is operated by SAU 16 and can be found on Channel 13, with all your school sports, events, and meetings. You can watch Exeter TV online at exeternh.tv, Apple TV, and on Roku.